Hi friends, my name is Narsimha and I'm studying BTech second year of CHD group in IRE Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. Today, as a part of my AAT Tech Talk videos in the subject of operating systems, I want to explain the topic name, which is familiar topic to you all, resource optimization and deadlock prevention while generating streaming architectures from ordinary programs. Once again, I'm repeating the main headings: resource optimization and deadlock prevention while generating streaming architectures. Well, coming to the introduction, modern real-time applications such as 4G wireless, WAP, and MPEG4/H.264 codec radar systems are inherently suited to streaming implementations because they use chains of computational kernels passing data to one another. Streaming hardware systems can demonstrate significant performance improvements over traditional processes for such applications by modeling this inherent concurrency and locality. Nowadays, friends, the technology is growing up very vastly, and the new techniques are being implemented in the devices which are using, such as computers or laptops or small mobile phone, or getting updated day to day life. And deadlock refers to the what is actually deadlock means. Deadlock refers to the coordination and concurrency problem where two or more processes are waiting for the release of a shared resource. Researchers have classified three strategies to manage deadlock situations: preventions and avoidance, and detection and resolution. System performance suffers under a deadlock avoidance strategy, and it is expensive in an application-specific FPGA design due to the need for arbitration logic. Actually, while coming to the process of the computer, which is used by us, while you are coming to the coding languages, or while we are importing or exporting the data from the computer, then the execution of the language or execution of the data is very important. So there should be a proper process, or there should be a proper coordination between the execution of the parts which are entering into the computer and for getting the output from the computer of the execution. Coming to this para, many real-time applications are not well suited for runtime deadlock resolution. In our technique, the compiler has full control over the target design, and so a compile time prevention methodology can be applied. Coming to the stream analysis using stream descriptors. Stream descriptors for memory operations are then mapped to these hierarchical blocks in the CFG. One must view the entire stream as a whole while performing streaming comparisons between producers and the consumers. For example, let us take a running race. In the running race, the prizes are distributed according to the person who comes out first of the line, and who comes second are given the second prize, and third prize, and so on. While coming to the computer system, the person who is entering, or the data which is entering first, should compile first, and the next should compile next. But the problem is waiting time. If the compilation time of the first process is more than the compilation of the second process, then the second process should wait till the first process has been executed. It's a time-taking process, and it's a disturbing process which will disturb the user. And coming to the streaming type analysis and architecture. So to avoid this type of problems, there is a proper algorithm or a proper process to compile the data which is executed by the computer. Coming to the streaming type analysis and architecture. Streaming analysis is performed by comparing the collapsed stream CFGs between the producer-consumer kernels. The whole compilation process, or the whole coding language, is acts as the bridge between the user and the computer. In the same way, in real-time situations, we can take between the producer and the consumer kernels. And a complex type exists if the producer stream pattern is not well defined, while the consumer pattern is. For instance, loop bounds in the producer are defined at runtime. If both producer and consumer streams are not well defined, the relationship is set as block streaming, which I have said before. If the bridge which is acting between the computer and the execution or the compilation time is not proper or not well defined, it will become a very headache to the user which is using it. Welcome to producer consumer kernels. Kernels means the inner part. And next, going to the example of streaming data architecture. Here we can see a small example or a small diagram how the sorting or the process or the algorithm which is going on between the computer process. Here we can see the three producers and the three consumers. And the three producers is known as Kafka cluster, and which will be explained by going on. And next we'll see what is Kafka cluster. Kafka cluster consists of one or more servers running Kafka. Means the servers, here we have three producers, means the running servers are many, and the producers are processes that push records into Kafka topics within the broker. Here we can see the three topics columns and the three partitions and the three consumers. This is a small example. Have a look. I will explain later. Next, handling of small common software constructs. This section illustrates the challenges in automatically inferring streaming architectures from high-level language programs. These languages are designed for scalar programming. The codes need to be specifically optimized for streaming architectures. Otherwise, they lead to extremely suboptimal resource usage and even deadlock. Means the criteria or the process which the computer is using or which is given by the user should be well defined. Otherwise, it will be faced with the deadlock. Coming to the handling the process. Streaming registers. The first one is streaming registers. When a software algorithm is converted into streaming logic, the control dependency between stages is removed since they need to execute in parallel on different temporal data. Stages are initiated solely by availability of data in the intermediate buffers. FIFOs are ideal for this process. FIFO means first in, first out, which I said before. The person who comes for the data which is given first to the computer will execute it first, and next to the computer is next. But it is only giving the starvation process, means the waiting process is being increased by this FIFO process into the stack. And the second one is one-to-many mapping. Breaking artificial dependencies enables parallelism and can potentially save resources. Several factors need to be considered. Next, coming to the next topic, thus one-to-many mapping. The first is the consumer input or output types. One can only schedule multiple consumers in parallel when none of the consumers modify the data stream before it is read by the others. The producer may also read the self-generated data, creating another dependency. Array aliasing can be used to resolve these cases. Any cross dependency that cannot be eliminated represents a synchronization of control. Coming to deadlock and FIFO size analysis, first in, first out. Because the registers and on-chip memories are more expensive than logic elements in the FPGA, memory buffer sizes in a design are a major consideration for the resource utilization. The streaming version of a design replaces many local memories with FIFO buffers that can potentially save a large portion of memory as well as addressing logic. Coming to the deadlock detection. How did I detect the deadlock? Generally, deadlock refers to a specific condition when two or more processes are waiting for each other to release a resource, which I said before, the waiting process. A deadlock can arise if four necessary conditions occur. First one is mutual exclusion, where process claim exclusive control of some resources. Second one is hold and wait, where processes holding resources may request additional resources. Third one is no preemption, where no resources can be forcibly removed from the process. And the last one or the fourth one is circular wide, where two or more processes requesting resources from form a circular chain. This is about the deadlock detection. Then deadlock prevention, how we have to prevent the deadlock means the waiting process. Once size analysis is complete, deadlock prevention analysis is initiated. Since the first three necessary deadlock conditions cannot occur by a construction, we work on removing the fourth condition, that is the circular weight condition in a post-scheduling CDFG design. Here we are giving the importance for the first three processes of the deadlock detection, and we are in the fourth process, which is unwanted bias. And this is about the deadlock detection and deadlock prevention and the FIFO process and streaming registers, handling of software, and the streaming type analysis. That's about my topic. And thank you, friends. I hope my lecture is somewhat useful for your further information, and I think it is somewhat useful for you.